Hello, 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 everybody. I am not quite sure. I think there's a slight delay in my internet and it was acting weird right now. But welcome, you guys, to our week 4 new consultant training. I'm really hoping my internet's not acting up. My name is Crystal. I'm going to be your trainer for today. And we're going to be talking about, and feel free, you guys, comment. I love the comments, okay? Participate. I am here. I'm an open book. If you have questions afterwards, feel free to comment. I'm going to make sure I'm kind of reading through some of your stuff as you're joining. So we're going to be talking about today about the emotional cycle in this business, being coachable, accountability, and creating your I story. And I promise you, I will give you a word that you need to have to share with your director. Because if you do all 4 weeks of the training, even if you're a seasoned consultant, let your director know. We have a little gift for you once you complete all 4 weeks of the training. And I promise you, I will give you the word, okay? So jumping in, the emotional cycle. So what I love what this says is Mary Kay is like a relationship. You don't jump ship the moment it gets hard. You got to walk through the emotional cycle. So some of us have been married before. I've been married twice. Hey there. I'm not quite sure who Facebook user is. It doesn't show me the name, but that's okay. Um, but we've all been in relationships. Some of us have been married before. Some of us are still currently married. And when I say relationship, it doesn't just necessarily have to be like a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It takes work, right? There's lows, there's highs. There's times where it's difficult, and there's times where you'll want to jump ship in that relationship, right? But your business is the exact same thing. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. And it's up to you and your mindset on how you treat that. So, for example, I dealt with this yesterday, you guys. I have been a booking machine this week. I think I'm already at, so I have to go back. I think I've added 13 new appointments this week. My goal is to add 20 before our director meeting on Tuesday. So I was excited, you guys. I had booked 6 new appointments for today, 6, okay? And I had booked 6 because as I was booking them, 2 needed to reschedule. So then I was down to 4, and then 1 needed to reschedule. Then I was down to 3. Needless to say, by the end of last night, I had 0 appointments for today. 0. Now, some of us, and I'm not gonna lie, in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I booked 6 appointments for today and none of them are holding, right? That's the initial thought. Then the other thought was, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? And I was like, no, it just happens. There's cancellations. And so it's up to me today. What would a normal person do, right? So most of us might just say, okay, well, I'm just not going to work today. No. See, for me, I'm like, okay, I had 6 appointments canceled today or reschedule. So I need to put those back on my calendar. So now I'm even more determined than ever. I'm going to do booking calls today. And my goal is to add at least 3 new appointments today. Okay. Now it sucks. Cancellations suck. Okay. It's not a great part of the business, but it happens. Just like it's going to happen that you're going to get team members and they're going to be super excited, and then life's going to happen and they decide to quit. And it's going to happen that you're going to go to parties and you're going to have $0 sales. Okay. It's going to happen. And so knowing that those sorts of things happen and being okay with it is where you have to be. You can't be stuck in just this mentality that, oh, this business doesn't work. I've heard that before. I have had 2 parties already this month. I had one on November 1st. Guess what? $0. Okay. I had a party the very next day. I sold 400. So just know, it's going to happen. Here's the thing. You have to be very open-minded. Okay. When you're doing booking calls, don't get sad if someone doesn't book with you. Don't get sad if someone cancels on you. Sometimes it's working through that. And, if it's a cancellation, getting them to reschedule versus just canceling. Sometimes people just have a change of heart, or they have a lot of life that happens, and you have to be okay with that and accepting of it. It is what it is. And I hate that saying, but it's true. It's so true. You can't, some things are not, they're beyond your control. Okay. And you just got to be okay with that. Okay. The other thing I want to share too is don't get stuck. It's okay to feel a certain emotion, right? But don't be stuck in it, because if you're stuck in it, you're not going to progress forward, right? So if I stayed stuck today and just said, oh, I had all these cancellations and, I'm not going to do anything today. Guess what? I'm going to feel even worse because I wasn't productive, and I could have been productive because I have the time now. So it's a choice. It's a decision, right? Just like, I love that Crystal said, I got to show this one because it's such a great thing that she put. She said, so true. It's life. People get excited to start the gym, get healthy, show up twice, then quit. People cancel their nail and hair appointments all the time. It's life. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's so true, you guys, right? How many times have we sat here and said, oh, this New Year's, I'm going to start this diet, right? That's like the number one resolution, is starting a diet, is getting healthy, is, I think those are like the top, like starting a gym, starting a healthy regimen, starting a diet. You know how many of those people are successful? It's a very small percentage. From what I've read, I think it's 1% to 2% of people who make New Year's resolutions actually stick with it. It's a very small percentage. Okay. So don't be that person. Stick with your commitments, you guys. And here's one of the best things I've ever heard. And this is from our awesome National Crystal, is don't stay a victim, be a victor. It's so easy to get complacent and get into a mindset where you say, you know what, this business doesn't work. People cancel. I'm just not going to do it today. That's being a victim. Being a victor is, yeah, this sucks. I had all these cancellations today. How am I going to make my day better? I'm going to do booking calls. And you know what? No matter where I'm out and about today, and yes, I'm going for a motorcycle ride, okay? But no matter where I'm out and about today, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to warm chat every single person I possibly can, because maybe that's God's intent today, is I wasn't supposed to do these appointments. I'm supposed to do more booking calls, and I'm supposed to meet somebody amazing while I'm out and about today, okay? So change your mindset. Don't get stuck, okay? Feel the emotion, get over it, move on, okay? And if you need to, vent to your director. Always vent up, okay? Vent to your director. We don't care. We may not respond to you, okay? But vent to us. Hey, Crystal, I just want to let you know, I had 6 cancellations. This sucks. But you know what? I'm going to make it a better day. Be done with it. Vent, release it, be done, okay? Being coachable. Oh my gosh, this is such a huge one, you guys. Such a huge one. I think as beauty consultants, sometimes you all forget that Crystal, our amazing National, used to be a beauty consultant. I used to be a beauty consultant. All your directors used to start where you are at as a beauty consultant. We're still beauty consultants, but we started where you guys are at currently. Okay. We didn't jump into Mary Kay in the positions that we were in. We started just where you guys are at. So we know that this business works. Okay. So when we try to give you the tools that we know are going to make you successful, and you don't utilize those tools, I'm not going to lie, it's a little frustrating for us sometimes, because we're like, oh, if she had just done it. And it's not so much that we're asking you to be robots. We are sharing with you the tools that we know that make others successful, because it made us successful. So allow yourselves to be coachable, even if it's not your joy zone. I'm not going to lie to y'all. My joy zone is not always doing booking calls, but I know if I don't do booking calls, I'm not going to have appointments on my calendar, even if they cancel. And therefore I'm not going to see the faces, and I'm not going to generate money, and I got to make money. Okay. Maybe your joy zone is you don't really particularly like lead generating. Maybe you don't like warm chatting. That's okay. Do it, because the more you do it, the more it's going to build your confidence, the more you're going to be accepting of it. Okay. But allow yourselves to be coachable. And that means do check-ins with your director. Please know, you guys, that if we're not checking in with you on a regular, it's not that we don't love you. It's that we're focusing on our own businesses and focusing on those that keep reaching out to us and wanting the help. So just because we're not reaching out to you doesn't mean we don't love you. It's just we figure sometimes you got it because we're not hearing from you. Okay. So have better communication with your director. It saddens me when I hear from consultants, oh, I don't want to bother you. That's our job, is to be your mentor. If you tell us, hey, I need help, this is my weak spot. This isn't my sweet spot. I need some help. We'll be more than happy to help you guys. But if you're not reaching out to us, we don't have a clue on how we can help you to be successful in your business. And that is our primary purpose, is to help you be successful in your businesses, whatever that looks like, whether it's you want a car, whether it's you want $600 profit in your pocket every single month. We know how to work this business to get you into those goals that you want. So allow yourselves to be coachable. And that comes down to, as well, sometimes us having a real conversation with you and dissecting it. If for some reason you're not being successful with recruiting, well, then let's have a conversation. Let's see what that's about. Maybe it's not necessarily something you're doing. Maybe it's in the delivery. And that's really, as your mentors, where we come in to kind of dissect that into bite-sized pieces and come up with a solid game plan for you guys that your business is more workable for you. So allow yourself to be coachable. That also means too, taking advantage of our time and doing share calls or training calls, whatever your director calls them. We are here for that. Okay. I'm telling you this right now, and it's not because we don't believe that you guys as consultants can do your own training or share calls. Trust me, we know a lot of you know how to talk about the opportunity. Here's where it benefits you to use us for share calls and training calls. They're hearing from another person. They're hearing from someone who makes up 2% of the company. Or if it's Crystal, that's your mentor, she's 1% of the company, right? And it's not to diminish the position that you're currently in. It just shows them that there's more in this business than just, starting off, that there's the potential to promote yourself. And that's why it's really important to utilize this, you guys. So please be coachable. And I'm going to tell you right now, all of us are sales directors because we were coachable. I promise you. I listened to my mentor. I may not have always liked what she said, but I listened to her. Okay. I love Crystal. When she tells me stuff, she's pretty raw and blunt, and I love it because I'm the same. I might not always like what she has to say, but guess what? When it's not something I like, it's usually because it's right. Okay. Okay. The other thing that we wanted to talk about today is accountability, showing up to weekly meetings, filling out your recognition, supporting your events, your director, and national. Okay. So let's start with the first one, showing up to your weekly meetings. I will never understand this. So when I first started, we actually had a physical studio. We had a weekly meeting. Okay. At the time I was working a corporate job. Yes, there are circumstances that sometimes I wasn't able to make it to the meeting, but that was something weekly I was a part of. Currently, I do a weekly meeting for my unit. Okay. If you went into a job, any of you that have regular jobs, and your boss tells you, hey, every Monday there's going to be a meeting at 5:30 p.m., you're not going to tell them, oh, I can't make it. Because they're going to probably tell you, well, then we're not paying you for that time. Okay. So treat this the same way, you guys. There is no difference. Just because this is your business, don't let yourselves off the hook so easily. Here's the greatest thing I've ever heard. If you had to hire yourself, would you? And if the answer is no, then be a better boss. Be a better business owner. Okay. Show up to the meetings. Because multiple reasons. One, it's training that we are providing to you for free. Number two, it is time we are taking away from our friends, our family, our own businesses to pour into all of you. And so I'm going to be blunt. When you guys don't show up to meetings, we feel for me, I feel it's kind of disrespectful because it's almost like you don't value my time because you're not setting aside the time to respect my time. Okay. And it's going to hold you more accountable as well. Show up to the meetings. If you guys don't know, we are doing a weekly meeting as an area every Monday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the Love area on this Facebook group. Be a part of it, you guys. Show up. And there's going to be a recognition form. Here's the thing with the accountability recognition form, okay? I've always filled it out. It doesn't matter if you've had a crap week. We've all been there. I've had parties galore cancel, and I was expecting to have 20 faces seen, and I had 4. I was expecting $2,000 in sales, and I had 200, right? But you know what? I still filled out the accountability. It's just like anything with having a routine, right? Those of you that work out, you wake up every morning or you have a set time that you do at certain days. It's no different. It keeps consistency, number one. Number two, it doesn't matter if you had a crap week. Be accountable and fill it out. And sometimes even for me, filling out that accountability form for our director meetings, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I saw that many faces, or, oh, I didn't realize I booked that many, because I'm just like, going about my week. So it helps that for you as well to kind of see the work that you put in. And again, don't beat yourself up. If you had a crappy week, guess what? Reset the clock for the following week. Okay, redo. Set new goals. Maybe transition the goals that you had last week into the next week and combine them and say, you know what? I didn't show up last week. I'm definitely showing up this week. Okay. So very, very important. The other part of that I wanted to touch upon is showing up to events that your national and director put on. Again, I hate to beat the dead horse more. Okay. But again, it is time. We are pouring into you all to help you all with your businesses. So when you're not showing up to those events, again, it's kind of a slap in the face. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to give you a little training tip today that's been so awesome for me so far this month. Crystal, our amazing national, puts together a virtual pampering spa day every single month. Once a month, she does that for us. She sends out the pampering kits for you. You guys aren't having to pay for them. It's her time that she's setting aside. You don't have to set aside any time. Take advantage of it. So here's what I've been doing with my booking calls. When they say they want a virtual, I don't give them an option right now of, oh, what day? Guess what I'm doing? Okay, cool. You want a virtual? I'm going to plug you into this virtual event that I have happening on November the 17th. I'm going to send you the flyer with the information. What's your address where I can mail you a pampering kit? And I'll follow up with you in 2 days to get your guest list so I can get their addresses and get pampering kits mailed out as well. And then I let them know, hey, you can click on, you can watch it through YouTube, and there will be a link that I'll send to you a couple days prior. Just so you know, I want to encourage you to be on live. However, for some reason you can't, you can watch the replay. I currently have 2 virtual parties that I've booked. I have to get their guest list for Crystal's event. So as you guys are doing booking calls, if anyone wants a virtual, book them for Crystal's event. And that goes with any events, you guys. I know there's a lot happening, and I know that sometimes, for lack of better words, because I know I feel this way, it can be a little overwhelming, okay? So here's what I want to encourage you to do. Make a list of the events happening. Make sure you're putting it on your calendar, your planner. And as you're in front of people and customers, remind yourself like, oh, that's right, we have that event. Oh, we have that event. Like, I'm going to be doing one on the 20th featuring highlighting and contouring. So if you know someone that's into makeup or has shared with you, like, you know what, I feel really lost when it comes to highlighting and contouring, bing, I'm going to invite them to that event. Okay. And don't get overwhelmed either, you guys. If for some reason you missed the boat, you didn't get samples sent out, don't not invite people just because they don't have samples. We know how amazing our products are. And when Crystal especially does our virtual events, you guys, she sells the sizzle. Let me tell you, she sells it. I had a customer, and she's been a customer of mine for a while, who I had posted about the last month's virtual event. And she commented like, oh, I want a pampering kit. And I wasn't able to get one out in time to her. So I was like, hey, still plug yourself in. I said, I'm sorry. You commented really late. And I didn't even have time to like go and deliver it to her like it would. The time frame, it just wasn't going to work. So she joined, and guess what? Crystal, because of her talking about the products, she ended up buying $160 of products from me because she wanted the warm hues palette, and she bought a bunch of stuff of the stuff that Crystal talked about. So sometimes we get in this mindset like, oh, if the person doesn't have the samples, then it's just going to be a waste of time. Not true. So like the highlighting and contouring event coming up, we gave you a list of the items to have. If you don't get them out in time, or you don't get the samples in time, still encourage people to join, because they're going to learn something, and they may say, oh, I want that product. Okay. So don't take that option off the table. Okay. But please make sure you take advantage of events. And, you know, I know sometimes I hear this from people like, oh, I don't want to bombard my customers. Again, pick and choose. If you know these customers are more into skincare, invite them to the skincare event. If you think these customers are more into makeup, invite them there. But take advantage of the events, you guys, because again, it's our time. We're trying to help you with your business. And if you're not getting guests on, that makes no sense to me. It's to help you make money. Take advantage. Okay, and then creating your iStory. So I know we get stuck sometimes when we talk about our iStory. So your iStory really should be, you know, who you are, essentially. What what Mary Kay has done for you, what you envision Mary Kay doing for you in the future. It doesn't have to be this elaborate thing. I think sometimes people get stuck and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything awesome to say. Not true. Okay. And your I story is going to change. Excuse me, guys. I just got over a cold and I'm feeling a lot better though. I have to show you how cute this mug is real quick. It says, I don't snore. I dream on a motorcycle. Trina, I know you like that one. So, when you create your I story, it's going to change sometimes. So I will be real with you guys. When I first started Mary Kay, my I story was, I work a corporate job. I'm married. I joined Mary Kay as a side hustle and for a great discount. I envisioned that Mary Kay is going to allow me to quit my corporate job and I'm going to do this strictly full time, right? Then that happened, right? And then it was, I'm still married. Mary Kay has allowed me to leave my corporate job. I envision get a pink Cadillac. And again, things change. Now I'm not married. Okay. Now I drive a motorcycle. So your I story will change, but it should be, and you guys, when we say share your I story, it's what you're comfortable to. And sometimes things that happen in your life have relevance to the people that you're in front of. It doesn't mean you have to sit there and give this 30-minute dissertation on how life has been rough for you and it's beat you down. And I'm not telling you to do all that, but sometimes there are things that there is relevance to. So like I share, and I tie things in while I'm at the party. So for example, I'm an ambassador for Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation. As a lot of you know, one of the things that we give back to is stopping domestic violence. I am a domestic violence survivor. Heck yeah, I say that loud and proud because I want to empower other women to know that not only is our foundation, our charity, very dear and near to my heart, but to empower others that if they're possibly going through something similar, I am a spokesperson to be like, hey, you too can get out of this really crappy situation, right? Now, I'm not telling you to put your whole life out there on a plate for people. Share what you're comfortable with and share what has relevance. And just know that your I story is going to change through the different seasons of your life. For me, now I share with people that my goal with my Mary Kay business is to requalify for a car, that I'm working towards earning my first pink Cadillac by the end of seminar year next year. And that I'm working my butt off because I want to buy a house and move my mom back here from New Mexico. Okay. So again, your I stories will change and it's what you're comfortable with. Don't feel the need to share things that you're not an open book and you don't want to put it out there to the universe. And again, this is where being coachable really is going to help you. So reach out to your directors if you're struggling with that component of your business. Okay. So if you're having troubles with creating that I story, or maybe you're just going through like a different transition in your life, you're like, gosh, I don't know kind of what to say. Ask your director. Like for me, one of the things that I share in my I story is I'm not your typical girly girl, right? Because a lot of times in Mary Kay, people think you have to be, or people automatically assume to be in Mary Kay, you have to be this supermodel or you have to know all about makeup or skincare. And I'm the complete opposite of that, right? So when I tell people I ride a motorcycle, that, I took car mechanics in high school and college, I've been playing the drums since 5th grade, they're like, whoa, yeah, you're definitely not a girly girl. No. So every single one of you has something in your I story that someone else can relate to. And it's going to trigger them like, oh, you know what? I really want to get to know this girl more. Or dang, if she can do it, I can do it. Okay. So that's why your I story is so impactful and so powerful. Okay. So again, if you're struggling with creating that I story to share at your parties, at virtuals, make sure you check with your sales director. And I think that ties into you guys making sure you're taking part of events, because when there's like marketing events, you can kind of hear some of us share our stories, and hopefully that inspires you all on how to create your I story. And again, that goes back to being coachable. So reach out to your directors and mentors. We're really here to assist you. So I hope your training today was helpful. If you guys are watching the replay of this and have questions, I'll make sure to go back through the next couple days. Feel free, if you guys have additional questions after this ends, you can type them out. I'll answer them for you. Your keyword for today, you know what? We're going to say it's Harley. For my motorcycle, Harley. Okay. I appreciate you guys joining. I hope you have an amazing day. You guys, we're only on November 5th. Make this a super successful, powerful month. You all have that capability to do it, but it starts with doing something today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Pull the trigger and do it today. Okay. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye, you guys.